Pooh Shiesty is no longer signed in 1017, and Gucci Mane no longer has his wedding ring and no longer has his watch. But Gucci, you can holler at me. I can get it back for you, bruh. Other than that, man, it is what it is.
Leaked footage tied to Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane is blowing up online, cutting straight through the flashy chains and million-dollar talk like a razor blade. What looks like industry shine on the surface hides a tense situation that turned messy fast, and people can't stop replaying it. Sources close to the situation say Gucci Mane was caught in the middle of heavy street pressure, and that pressure didn't come from strangers. The wild part is the jewelry situation allegedly involved people from his own circle in broad daylight, which sent shockwaves through the culture.
God passing away, like to this day, I still ain't really got over that. It's my little cousin, to tell me welcome home, still messing with me up for real, so I ain't really got over it yet.
The truth behind how the ice cream man got caught slipping is colder, smarter, and way more ruthless than fans expected. This whole situation has the hip-hop world buzzing non-stop. Online timelines are split, with some calling it fake talk and others saying this was bound to happen sooner or later. But what went down last Tuesday night in Dallas, Texas, is the moment everything flipped for Gucci Mane and the 1017 camp, no debate. Gucci was reportedly handling business in a private studio when tension walked through the door. Allegedly, Pooh Shiesty pulled up with a charged-up presence and a crew ready to stand on business. And from there, things escalated quick. And don't get it twisted, this wasn't about contracts or label paperwork. This ran deeper than money, touching respect, loyalty, and street codes that don't come with warning labels.
Funeral paid for. This 10K went to a flowers. Flowers high. We still got a casket. He getting cremated. He getting put up in a museum. Bitches would not be able to walk on my brother's grave. He ain't getting put in no ground. He ain't getting buried with no chains. He not getting them chains back. Period. At the end of the day, receipts that and a bill uploaded. For the bill and on receipts. Like I said, we on the receipt 10,000. What the other 10 is, I don't know. But yeah. I'm at work with my feet up, making boxes.
Tuesday night, around 11 p.m. in Dallas, Gucci Mane was locked into his private studio, focused on new music and business moves, when the vibe suddenly shifted. Out of nowhere, Pooh Shiesty allegedly pulled up unannounced, rolling deep with 3 young guys from Memphis, and the energy was already tense before a word was spoken. This wasn't a random visit or a friendly pop-in, this had weight behind it. If you've been watching the situation unfold, then you already know tension had been brewing over how Gucci handled the passing of Big Scar.
Talking about some long live him, bro. You ain't do nothing, cuz, on God. And you ain't getting them chains, cuz. You can't get them chains. There's no way you can get them chains. The minute that them folk called your phone to see if you gonna pay for the funeral, you blocked them. That's not real, cuz. On God, that's not real. I thought Gucci was rich, too. Ha, fooled all us.
In the streets, loyalty is the code. No questions asked. When an artist passes, especially someone young and respected, the expectation is clear. The label steps up, handles the funeral, supports the family, and shows respect all the way through. But according to Big Scar's family, that didn't happen how it should have. They say Gucci only sent around $10,000 for flowers, while the full funeral costs were expected to be much higher. Scar's sister was heated, saying straight up, "My brother was worth more than $10,000. And that frustration spread fast. What made it hit harder was the claim that Gucci said he couldn't do more because his wife's birthday was coming up. In street culture, that kind of explanation doesn't land right, especially when grief is fresh and emotions are raw. And here's why this cut deep for Pooh Shiesty. Big Scar wasn't just another artist. That was his day one homie from Memphis, someone he came up with from nothing. Losing Scar felt like losing family. So when the funeral situation felt mishandled, it stopped being business and turned personal real quick. By this point, Pooh Shiesty had been sitting on that frustration for months, letting it build instead of letting it go. When he walked into that Dallas studio, he wasn't there to record tracks or talk business plans. He came in with one goal only, to make his position loud and clear and move different in 2024.
How SRT to be exact. This the faster key. They come with black keys, but when you got this key, make the car fast. You unlock all the engine power. But, this my first track out. Been one bad. I got this on Gucci Mane's birthday. Like, he gifted me this at his birthday dinner. The dinner was almost over, we leave, and I'm thinking I'm finna go get back in my Hellcat.
From the moment he stepped up to Gucci Mane, the energy felt off instantly. This wasn't a calm label meeting or a creative sit-down. Pooh Shiesty looked Gucci straight in the face and told him he didn't want to be part of the label anymore. Period. The conversation heated up fast. Gucci tried to calm things down, talking about loyalty, keeping the team together, and fixing issues internally. But that tone wasn't landing at all. Pooh Shiesty wasn't interested in smooth talk or damage control. He pressed Gucci directly about the Big Scar situation and how it hit close to home. He told him straight up that the family felt abandoned when support mattered most. In his eyes, having money but not stepping up fully crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. Gucci tried to explain his side, but the back and forth kept getting louder. Voices rose, patience ran out, and the tension filled the room like smoke. After roughly 25 minutes of arguing, Pooh Shiesty made it clear he was done talking. He told Gucci this was the last conversation they would ever have and said he was out. He grabbed his things and headed toward the door, leaving the studio silent behind him. What nobody inside the room realized was that people connected to Pooh Shiesty were already outside, waiting in separate cars. While Pooh Shiesty was still inside going back and forth with Gucci Mane, the people connected to him were already outside lining things up. Timing wasn't random at all. They knew exactly when he was walking out and exactly how the next move was supposed to look. To understand how this unfolded, you gotta understand how certain street circles move. The crew tied to Pooh Shiesty, often referred to as the Choppa Gang, has been known in Memphis for standing 10 toes behind their people. These aren't hanger-ons chasing fame or social media moments. These are dudes known for taking action first and asking questions later when loyalty is on the line. In their world, respect is everything. One issue with one person becomes an issue with everybody. That reputation didn't come out of nowhere either. It was built over years of pressure, street checks, and reputation plays that spread fast.
Pooh Shiesty is no longer signed in 1017, and Gucci Mane no longer has his wedding ring and no longer has his watch. But Gucci, you can holler at me. I can get it back for you, bruh. Other than that, man, it is what it is. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Believe me, don't believe me, but y'all know when I break down street shit like this, I'm never wrong.
As soon as Pooh Shiesty exited the studio and pulled off, that's when everything shifted. The people outside moved with speed and coordination, not panic. It wasn't loud, it wasn't messy, it was fast and calculated. Gucci was approached with no small talk. There was no argument, no back and forth, no negotiation. The focus was straight on the jewelry, and the move happened in seconds. First thing taken was Gucci's wedding ring, the one tied to his marriage with Keishia Cutwear. That ring alone was rumored to be worth more than what most people make in years. Heavy diamonds, pure platinum, no shortcuts. Right after that, his high-end Patek Philippe watch was taken as well. Another piece valued deep into 6 figures. In under half a minute, nearly $500,000 in jewelry was gone. Just like that. This wasn't a random moment or a crime of chance at all. What happened was structured, timed, and carried out with intention from start to finish. By the time Pooh Shiesty walked out of that studio, the tension in the air already said everything. The confrontation wasn't just words. It doubled as a distraction while people connected to him were already positioned outside.
Pooh Shiesty still ain't forgave Gucci Mane on the way in which he handled the whole entire situation. See, what a lot of people don't know is that some things are unforgivable to some people. Pooh Shiesty, Scar's death is one that he could not forgive. So Pooh Shiesty has not been rocking with Gucci Mane at all since he got out. And as of today, Gucci Mane, Pooh Shiesty went their separate ways. But the details on how that happened, whew.
Moves like this are never just about money. The jewelry is expensive, sure, but the real message runs deeper. In street logic, it's about disrespect, unresolved pain, and reminding someone that certain situations don't get brushed off or forgotten. The situation tied back directly to the unresolved feelings surrounding Big Scar, and that frustration had clearly been sitting heavy. Once the situation unfolded, the fallout was immediate. Gucci Mane reportedly cut ties with Pooh Shiesty and removed him from the 1017 label without hesitation. At that point, the relationship was done for good. No fixing it, no circling back. But the damage didn't stop there. Gucci was suddenly without his wedding ring and his most expensive watch, and the conversation spread fast across the industry. People weren't just talking about the loss, they were questioning how close things got in the first place.
10K ain't did shit but buy obituaries and flowers, boo. This shit ain't helping no obituaries and flowers, boo. 10K ain't shit. My brother was way more worth, baby, my brother worth more than 10K. Quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. Yeah, Gucci son 10,000, and it was somebody else on another 10. So it was 20,000 in all.
A lot of eyes turned towards security and structure. How did people from an artist's circle get that close? Where was the protection? Those questions started ringing loud behind the scenes, especially among label heads watching closely. That's when YouTube personality Seti Nash entered the conversation. Known for covering hip-hop drama and street-related topics, he broke down the situation on his channel. And that video sent timelines into overdrive. Once the breakdown hit, the internet exploded. Clips circulated, theories flew, and discussions popped up everywhere about how the situation unfolded. Here's where things get interesting. Seti Nash moved smart with how he covered the situation. He avoided directly tying Pooh Shiesty to any planning, especially with legal pressure already hanging over him. One wrong statement online can spiral fast, and Nash clearly wasn't trying to cross that line. In the comments, fans were loud. Some people swore P.I. had a hand in everything, while others said there was no solid proof. Nash stayed careful and neutral, breaking things down without pushing anything that could put someone's freedom at risk. That's knowing the game and playing it right. Even without names being pointed, the streets already had their own opinions. Sides were being picked immediately. The Choppa Gang name alone carries weight in Memphis, and that reputation didn't come out of nowhere. For people unfamiliar with Memphis street politics, that crew's name has been ringing bells for years. Long before fame and industry deals, they were known for applying pressure, taking risks, and standing firm on loyalty. High-profile situations aren't new territory for them, and that history is why this moment hit so hard. Once the story spread, artists and fans started chiming in online. Some argued Gucci Mane brought this on himself with how the Big Scar situation was handled. Others said crossing a former boss like that breaks an unwritten rule that should never be touched. The culture ended up split straight down the middle, but this wasn't just about jewelry or a studio incident. This was about loyalty, respect, and how people get treated during the worst moments of their lives. At the end of the day, Gucci Mane's situation goes way deeper than losing pricey jewelry or catching jokes online. This really exposed how power moves work in hip-hop and what happens when loyalty cracks between people who came from the same grind. When you're dealing with street-connected people who feel disrespected, the rules change fast. Respect isn't optional, it's mandatory. Once that balance is off, things can spiral quick, and this situation showed that loud and clear. Now the big question is, what's next for Gucci Mane? He's likely gonna have to tighten everything up, from his movement to his security setup. Rolling around cities the same way just isn't an option anymore. This moment reminded everyone that money doesn't make you untouchable if you move careless. On the other side, Pooh Shiesty walked away as a free agent with a reputation that hits hard. Labels are definitely gonna hesitate before getting involved, but at the same time, his name carries more weight in the streets now. He showed he's willing to walk away from a major deal over respect and loyalty. That kind of stance doesn't go unnoticed where it really counts. For some people, that's worth more than contracts and advances. This whole situation is about to shift how label heads move with their artists. Funerals, family emergencies, and tragic moments can't be handled with cold business energy. Artists want to feel like family, not just line items on a spreadsheet. Throwing small money at serious pain doesn't fix anything. What people remember is who showed up when it mattered. Pooh Shiesty's name rang louder after this because he stood on principle and honored his fallen homie, even knowing the cost. That type of loyalty still carries serious respect in the hood, even when it costs everything. Now we're at the moment everyone's been waiting for. The security footage from that Dallas studio captures the entire sequence. The tense exchange between Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane, the exit, and what unfolded right after. Every movement lines up with what's been circulating online, and this clip is already sparking heavy conversation. You can see people waiting outside in separate cars. You can see them step out, move toward the studio, and make their approach. You can also see the moment things click for Gucci when he realizes something just went down. That reaction alone says a lot. This is the kind of footage that flips narratives and sends timelines into overdrive. Once it dropped, conversations shifted fast, and opinions started flying from every direction. Now it's on you. How do you feel about how this situation played out? Was the response justified based on how the Big Scar situation was handled? Or did things go too far and cross a line that shouldn't be crossed? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let the conversation run. If you're rocking with this breakdown, make sure you like the video, share it, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Turn on notifications too, because more stories like this are coming. We're locked in on everything moving behind the scenes, and this situation is far from the last one making noise. Appreciate y'all for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.